talk to your mom? She said you were going to some school called Yokai Academy.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, since my favorite cousin's gonna be going there, I decided to do some research. And you should know...
Hello? Kyoko? Are you there?
What's going on, guys? Sintorace here, and hello and welcome to Is It Worth a Watch, the internet show where we watch and dissect various anime to determine if it's worth your time. And today, we'll be revisiting an anime series I've seen several times since its initial release back in 2008, Rosario Vampire, both seasons 1 and 2. So sit back, grab some water to stay hydrated, and protect your neck because this one leans a bit towards the NSFW side of the spectrum. But then again, did you expect anything less? So I was on the hunt for Halloween-themed anime, and naturally Rosario Vampire comes to mind, and for good reason. Aesthetically, the two seasons of Rosario Vampire capture the essence and ambience of Halloween quite well. From the soundtrack and setting to the main storyline, Studio Gonzo envelops the watcher in a warm and cozy atmosphere, radiating the same lighthearted fun and spookiness one experiences from Halloween cartoons as a kid, albeit with more adult-ish subject matter and situations. The main story revolves around Tsukune Aono, an ordinary human who, thanks to his seemingly neglectful parents, ends up attending Yokai Academy, a school for all sorts of monsters and demons that supposedly promotes peaceful coexistence between them and humans. I find this kind of funny considering both faculty and students have participated in a literal witch hunt to find and kill the human attendee and his sympathizers, which kind of cheapens the whole coexisting narrative, but I'll let it slide for the sake of the show. The anime opens up with Tsukune on the way to his first day at school when he accidentally runs over an S-class vampire girl that gives him a good sucking and befriends him, kicking off his quick accumulation of magical maidens, and hijinks quickly ensue. The humor and story largely stem from Tsukune having little to no control over the situation at almost any given moment, with a secondary plot concerning Mocha, the vampire girl's backstory, and the significance of the Rosario, which are only lightly touched upon during the anime. Now I'm sure you're wondering, does Rosario Vampire have an overarching story you can follow from episode to episode with payoff towards the end? And the answer is... well, no, not really, and that doesn't work to its benefit, especially since both seasons came out roughly 15 years ago at this point. But nevertheless, Rosario Vampire manages to balance a big bad of the week format with an ongoing storyline centered around an ecchi comedy agenda, and while the series is basically a jiggle physics simulator, it does attempt to make the ecchi scenes flow in and out of the narrative seamlessly as opposed to just being a giant interruption. And speaking of fan service, it's relentless. Every episode, practically every other shot, and even some of the main plot points revolve around the ecchi elements, and while I would classify it as NSFW, it's worth noting that it's a little less explicit than Ishizoku reviewers overall. The pacing is generally smooth and remains consistent between season 1 and 2, though it can feel a bit slower come season 2. One of the more minor annoyances I would like to point out as well with the show is the excessive time devoted to the Rosario transformation scenes, which occur in nearly every episode, though this is somewhat made up for with the spontaneous singing scenes that I didn't remember were part of the show until I rewatched. Surprisingly, the songs are actually pretty good too. I actually found myself repeating one or two of them. Now, onto the characters themselves. Apart from the main cast of women embodying typical anime tropes and archetypes, they're all fairly enjoyable and effectively play their roles in keeping the story moving, and the voice actors do a fine job portraying their personalities. It's worth noting that you'll likely recognize the voice cast if you watched any other dubbed anime, but the familiarity actually adds to the show's cozy feeling, so I actually consider it to be a plus overall in this case. Circling back around to the characters, there is one single, and I mean single bane of this show, and that is Mocha's little sister, who starts appearing regularly in the first episode of season 2. I'm really not sure what they were thinking. Maybe they felt the little sister trope wasn't adequately being represented by Yukari, the lolly witch girl, but I simply cannot stand this character. She contributes little to the story, constantly interrupting scenes that deserve more attention, and is generally just an annoyance. Her sole motivation is to bring back the white-haired Mocha, the true vampire version of her sister, which manifests once the Rosario is removed from the pink-haired Mocha, which seems to be an action only Tsukune seems to be capable of doing, although it it could theoretically be performed by any human. We haven't really seen any other humans interacting with it, but I'm not entirely sure. Had they omitted or given a more tolerable, lesser role in Season 2 for Mocha's sister, or even a less irritating personality and voice combination, I wouldn't have many complaints. Season 2 is otherwise a direct continuation of Season 1 in every way, from the comedy style, animation, techniques, etc, etc, etc. On a second side note, I've heard that the manga differs significantly from the anime, and I've decided to give the manga a try for the first time and see what the hype's all about. As far as I understand it, if you consider the anime to be a 6 or 7 out of 10, the manga rates at around an 8 or 9, which is pretty good. As of this video, I've only read through volume 1, as it's the only one I currently have in my possession, but I will go ahead and get online and get on that as soon as I can and give you guys an update video. And with that being said, it's time for final thoughts. So, is Rosario Vampire worth a watch? Honestly, I'd say so, but it depends on what you're looking for. In essence, Rosario Vampire is an unapologetic slice-of-life harem comedy ecchi with entertaining story elements set in a Halloween-themed backdrop. If you're seeking an anime with a well-defined conclusion, a neatly wrapped-up romance, or significant character development, Rosario Vampire may not be the right choice for you. However, if you're in the mood for something to relax and unwind to, free from politics, complex power dynamics, or major villains, and where the fights are mainly played for laughs, this show could be a great fit. It offers humor, gags, and impressive jiggle physics topped off with a light-hearted Halloween-themed setting. And in spite of its flaws, I do commend the show for effectively balancing its various elements, ensuring that nothing really overstays its welcome, save for a specific character. Again, I must emphasize that Rosario Vampire is not safe for work, so don't be a dummy, but otherwise there's little to lose by throwing on a few episodes to see if it's something you can get behind. If you appreciate this anime or seek something with a similar setting and comparable art style, consider checking out Iruma-kun. I may review this one in the future, but for now, it's a series based around a magicless kid whose parents sell him to a devil, leading him to attend a school of monsters and demons, somewhat akin to Tsukune's situation. In any case, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you decide to give Rosario Vampire a look, please share your thoughts in the comment section below, and don't forget to like and subscribe to stay tuned for more content and the next episode of Is It Worth a Watch? And until next time, take care, and I'll see you soon. Sintorace out.